there. So
the little eyeball still ain't lit up. So.
I don't know. This lit up over here.
Yeah.
But it's not over there?
No.
Well, shoot a monkey. Anyway, we said we would, during this hour, since we've got Mr. Box, who is a wealth of knowledge.
He is full of knowledge.
He's a wealth of knowledge. It will open up. We're going to do some other things, but we will open up the phone lines, 766-9393, to random questions, and we can answer anything.
That's right.
With this little group we've got here, I can always defer to one of you for a wealth of knowledge. Our first question's already here. I got it via text message.
Well, all right.
It's an interesting thought. You ever watch those dolphins as they breach the water and fly up in the air?
Yeah.
You know, they come up out of the water and zip back down. Well, it says, do you think sailfish or dolphin breaching out of the water feels like a skier getting pulled down under the water?
I wouldn't think so.
If he gets a mouthful of and nose full of water because he went face first, he feels just like I did when I fell off the skis.
Well, you know, a dolphin breathes air like we do.
Right, yeah.
Now, he can hold his breath longer than I can.
Yeah, he definitely do that. What do you think, Lonnie?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, it's just a natural thing.
You know, the avid skier that you are.
Yeah. Never been on a pair.
Well, have you never skied before?
I've never skied before.
Oh, I could tell you some skiing adventures.
Yeah.
I never was a good skier. We went pleasure skiing a few times when I was young.
Yeah.
You a skier?
I used
Water
to be.
ski?
Oh, it'd probably kill me now.
Yeah. Did you?
When I was younger.
Did you ski on one ski?
I never got to the one ski. I could do two skis.
Two skis?
And I was with my buddies, all guys, and we was pulling each other around on the boat down here at Second Creek. And I told them, I said, if I get up, just keep going till I can't stand it, because I want to ski as long as I can. And so, of course, my buddies, being their buddies that they are, they took me out to the main channel of the river.
Yeah. Yep.
It was like an ocean out there.
Oh my gosh, yes. And they give you the runaround, did they?
Oh, man, they about killed me. But I was determined I was going to stay up, but I didn't make it.
Yeah.
I got that dolphin effect. I went under the
many
water.
years ago, we were skiing with my aunt and uncle. They had a pleasure boat like that, and they invited us to go skiing. I was fairly young at the time, but they had what's called a boogie board. You remember the old boogie boards? Mm-hmm. It was just a wooden board, but it turned up. It had a turn up on it.
Yeah. And
a string you could hang on to, and it was connected to the boat via the line.
Right.
And it wasn't hard to get up on that thing because it was just a big old flat board.
Yeah.
You lay down on it or sit on it, and they'd get going, pull you up. Well, buddy, I was going for all we could go. I don't know how fast we could go, but you know how when the boat takes a turn,
Right. Yeah, you speed up immensely.
You get slung out to the side. You can really. Well, this thing just had a turn up on the front. It didn't have any turn up sides on the other. And I'm going sideways, and I'm leaning, holding it up just as hard as I can.
Yeah.
Okay. But I finally give out, or it catches a wave or something, and it tumbles me across the water for about 100 yards. And maybe that's an exaggeration, but arms and legs and board and me, we were all just in a big tangle.
It's amazing how hard that water is.
And wrapping there.
Man.
So anyway, we had a big crash, and but hey, it was a lot of fun. I mean, we had big fun.
Oh man,
we had big fun.
Well, now, I've got a buddy I went to school with. He could ski barefooted without skis.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I never did try that.
No, I don't think I.
Listen, it took a big board to get me up.
Well, he's a little skinny, tall and skinny, but
Yeah.
they said he could really do it. He
Tall
was
and
good at
skinny, had size 17 feet or something.
it. Well, I don't think it's quite that big, but
Well, that same board, when I finally got to the board and got back to it, going to get back on it again, it was upside down, which meant the curl of the lip went down.
Oh.
And as I grabbed a hold of it, my uncle decided to hit the acceleration. And I didn't have sense enough to let go of the board, and we went down. I went down like a fishing lure. I went down so quick and so fast that the water got cold.
Would you catch anything while you down there on the bottom?
No, I turned loose finally and porpoised back up to the top.
You breached the water.
I breached the water. So does a sailfish or a dolphin breaching the water feel like a skier? No, I think he feels better than a skier.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, I think there's a sense of freedom that when they do that, and they're happy. When we go underwater, we ain't too happy. So I'm answering the question, Chris. We do not think that it feels the same.
That's right. No.
So there we go. 766-9393 is the number. Keith Durham is not with us this morning, but it is the Quik Mart hour.
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
And we want to mention our friends at the Quik Mart convenience stores. They have lots of good stuff.
Man, yeah.
They do, including those fuel points. I
Yeah.
still haven't set mine up
Have
yet.
you not?
I still haven't.
Well,
set-
Jeff,
I don't know how.
you spending money that you don't have to spend without that rewards card.
I do use the Kroger points. I have been using those, which is quite good.
Yeah.
You could use it at all the Shell stations, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's see if we can talk to somebody this morning. Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. What about y'all?
Well, we're doing great. Have you got a big question for us?
I sure do, and I need a good answer for it.
Uh-oh.
I have a cup from Quik Mart. It's a plastic cup. It's got Pepsi on it. And it says refill for 39 cents. Can I still do that?
Wow. Well,
It's about a quart cup.
My advice is take it in and try and see what happens.
Have you tried it?
No, I sure haven't.
Well, let me confer with my staff here, and I would say that it's worth a try.
Yes, I would.
Okay.
and
All right.
I'd say it's worth
I'll
a try.
be listening.
And
Get me on that.
what I'd do is I'd go in and ask them first and say, "Hey, I've got this cup. Is this still in play?" And then get me a drink.
Okay, thank you.
And if that don't work, bring it to me and I'll try it.
Bring it to me. I'm gonna go in there and I say, I know Keith Durham, so I know I can do this for 39
That's
cents.
right.
Well, that is a good question. Was that for a limited time? Does it say for a limited time on the cup?
I remember them cups. I think it just says 39-cent refill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And of course, it's when they had those 39-cent refill cups. The drink was a whole lot cheaper than what they are now.
A whole lot cheaper.
But yeah, that,
It has crossed my mind, because this is the way my mind works, and I haven't done it. I have not done it. But these places where you get your own drink, which are a lot of them now. A lot of these places, they give you the cup and you get your own drink. And if you go in to eat, Dairy Queen does it, McDonald's does it, Wendy's does it, and I guess others. Almost all of them do.
all of them.
So you get a drink, and then you get all the refills you want while you're there. But let's say you leave and you're going back through town and you still got your cup.
So you usually stop in there and
Can you walk back in and get you another?
Now, I was told there was a man at the Hardee's in Loretta saved his coffee cup and would go in there and
Now, I think that's kind of cheap to do.
refill it. And they finally told him, said, you can't bring the cup back. You've got to get a new one. And
Yeah, I think that's cheating.
it's only works for this while you've.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's for just that
But
one
the,
visit.
but the thought has crossed my mind
Well, yeah,
because
a nefarious person would probably go in there and keep refilling their
I
cup.
would not do that. But the thought has crossed my mind. And I bet people have.
They have.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Now, I'm guilty of going in and eating my meal and then going by the fountain before I leave and fill it back up.
Now, I
take
do
it
that
with
all
me.
the time.
Yeah, everybody does that.
Yeah, I
Sure.
do that all the time. Take a tea with me.
Yeah. So when you go in there, do you get a large or do you just get the small? Because you got free refills.
I usually get the small.
I usually just get it regular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, and I do like you do. I go,
Unless it's a blizzard, then I want a big one.
Well, I
oh,
don't
they got
think
free
you
refills
get,
on them?
I don't
No,
think
they
you
don't
get a free refill on them.
Maybe that's what we should do is have a make.
But I am-
make your own blizzard bar.
Ooh, that
Speaking
would
of
be something.
blizzards, I am waiting to go get a blizzard, and then they put that thing out the window and turn it upside down. I'm waiting for one to fall out.
To fall out.
I've
I've
never,
Never seen it happen.
Never seen it happen, but
Hey, I tried a new one the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not new to anybody else, but it was to me. I tried a banana split blizzard.
Well, and how was it?
It was like a banana split.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, all right.
it was quite good, actually.
And this is on that diet
Yes,
you're
yes,
doing?
it's on that diet.
The carnivore diet?
Yeah, what's
Okay.
wrong? What's wrong with you? Don't you know?
Oh no, I don't. I'm. That's why I'm asking. Because hey, if that kind of stuff's on that diet, that's what that kind of diet I'm gonna do.
I hear you.
And
He had the mini.
Oh, I'm sure.
Listen,
Yeah, he's over talking about getting the lard.
He had the mini.
Okay, all right.
well,
Well,
I have nothing to say.
Mark that on the calendar.
I have nothing to say. It's 8:20 this morning, and it's the Quick Mart hour. Keith Durham would normally be here. By the way, tomorrow I've got something interesting happening too. I'll mention that.
Okay.
Since we swapped days, Ricky Nelson, Pastor Ricky Nelson, a buddy of mine, called me. Actually, sent me a text message, and he was telling me about a man that he has met, him and his family, that's going through the state of Tennessee, county by county, all 95 counties in 100 days is their goal, and preaching in each county. Somewhere, somehow, he's planning to preach in each county, 95 counties in 100 days. And anyway, I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. I wonder how
Yeah.
that got developed and where he's from. He's a Tennessee guy. I think he lives over in McMinnville. I'm not sure if it's Benville or Manchester. One of those. What is that?
Somebody's belly's growling.
Is that a phone?
Oh, that's mine. Sorry.
That's your phone doing that.
Sorry. I got it on silence, but apparently it's still vibrating.
Okay. Somebody needs you.
Well,
And by the way,
I'm sure it's a telemarketer.
Kevin, your beard's coming along, man.
Well, thank you.
Has Keith still got his?
I haven't seen him. He's supposed to.
Keith
have.
still have his? You're coming to fix this, I hope. Thank you.
I sent her a text.
Oh,
message.
did you? I tried to fix it, and I ran out of time before I could, so I don't know what's going on. Anyway, we'll get our cameras up, maybe, and we'll get that fixed. Okay.
Because Lonnie's pretty upset he ain't on TV.
I know he's upset. He's upset, but no need. By the way, the lines are open 766-9393. We are answering questions. Your questions that you have, and by the way, I know this much. I know Kevin could answer car questions.
Yeah. If not, I'll make something up.
Car questions, we could answer that for sure.
Thank you, Maddie.
Did it work?
Yes.
Yeah. Look at there.
Look at there. Well, she made it easy.
She knows what she's doing.
Right there we are. How about that? All right. Well, good deal. So now we got that working. So that's one less thing.
All right.
I had something up here, and let's see if I can find it. You guys are just waiting on me. I know. I had that. Where did it go? There it is. I pulled up a website here just a minute ago. 100 things everyone should know. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of things you ought to know.
Yeah.
You know, but if you just kind of tried to write a list, I mean, where would you start with things you ought to know? Things everybody ought to know. Got an idea?
How to change a tire.
Well, that's
we mentioned that. I kind of brought this up a day or two ago. We were talking in here with somebody, but things we take for granted that everybody ought to know. We teach this to our kids. The first one on the list that I've got this morning is your address and phone number.
Yes.
Your address and phone number.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that it's a good idea to teach that to your kids as soon as they're able to remember it. Mm-hmm. You know, their address or phone number, your phone number, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's something everybody ought to know. And you'd be surprised sometimes people call in Trading Post and they can't remember their own number.
Oh, yeah.
They don't ever call themselves.
Well, that's what he said. That's what he said.
But I'm assuming they still do. When CJ went through kindergarten, I believe that they did do that. That was one of the things they had to learn was their at least one parent's phone number, what their address was, and
yeah, right,
and stuff like that.
Right.
And I never thought about it until that happened. I thought, that's probably pretty good.
That is a good idea.
Do you know your Social Security number, by heart?
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm. I do too. Do you know any of your family's Social Security numbers?
I do not.
No, I do not. But I'd say my wife probably does.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I know Teresa's anyway. I couldn't. I know mine and Teresa's. I couldn't do. I don't think I could do the kids off my.
Well, I know Barbara's has got a 9 and a 2 in it.
Somewhere in there, huh?
I think it's got a 6 in there somewhere.
Something in there. Something in there somewhere. All right. Hey. Good morning. How are you?
Jeff.
Hey.
Hey, listen. Do any of you boys know whether you have to have a burn permit right now to burn a brush pile?
Yes, you do. You have to have a burn permit up through May the 15th.
May the 15th.
And they, if it's dry weather after that, they may continue it on. But yes, you do have to get a burn permit until I think it's from October the 15th through May the 15th.
Well, good. I'm glad to know that. I got one I want to burn.
Well, see there how much we know.
I know it. I appreciate it, boys. Thank y'all.
Hey, listen. Hey,
Yeah.
Lanny.
Yeah.
If we get stumped on one, can we call you?
Well, I think it'd be a poor source to call.
Well,
But now, on the burn permit, Lanny, I will say, don't try to get one today because the way the wind's blowing, they won't let you have one.
Oh, no, I wouldn't even attempt it. I mean, I want a pretty day to do it.
all right. Hey, well, let us know when you're gonna do it. We'll bring the weenies.
Okay,
And the
thank
marshmallows.
See you, man.
Y'all. Bye-bye.
You better find out what he's burning before you take the weenies and the marshmallows.
A brush pile.
Well, yeah.
Well, but he may have something in that brush pile that.
You know, old tire or something.
Yeah.
No,
They make a weenie taste good. Huh?
Yeah.
it's just a brush pile. I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Regular old sticks.
Well, what if he
and
had
stuff.
some poison oak in that brush pile?
Ooh, that would be bad.
That would be bad.
Hey, one thing I think you should know how to do is how to drive as far as the left lane and the right lane when you're on an interstate.
Oh my gosh.
Do like I do, just right down the middle.
No doubt.
You know that comes up a lot. That comes up a
Oh.
lot. Is riding in the left lane.
Yeah, and doing the speed limit, or I guess they think they're slowing people up by doing less than the speed limit. It's gonna make it safer, but it actually is worse.
Well,
because-
the right lane is for the speed limit,
right.
right? The left lane
Is for passing.
is for crime.
Oh. So get out of the way of us real lawbreakers. We're coming through there.
Oh man. Actually, it is a passing lane only.
Right, yeah. You're supposed to go out, pass, and go back to the right lane.
Yep.
You know, but that's once you get into heavy traffic, that's just not possible.
No.
Oh no.
But you
But
know,
I'm saying like out on the interstate.
but our 4-lane,
Mm-hmm.
our bypass, the 4-lane, as I call it, there's not as much traffic, and so if you're floating along in the left lane there, cruising,
Mm-hmm.
you need to scoot over.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I got to turn left up here. Well, that's 10 miles down the road.
Well. Okay.
Oh, did you get another question?
Chris is coming up with some oddball questions.
Okay, what's his question?
Well, he wants to know if a turtle is out of its shell, is it considered naked or homeless?
It will be, Chris, it will be considered dead. It will die if it don't have its shell on.
Well,
Well, that ain't the way the cartoons portray
I've
it.
seen it in a cartoon or two though when they
Yeah.
come out.
Well,
Bugs Bunny even gets in it and runs around in it. No, actually, the shell is part of the turtle's skeleton, right?
yep.
So,
Yeah.
I guess he'd just be naked.
Well, if he's out of his shell, he's probably headed to the pot.
Turtle soup.
Turtle soup.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
I would say so. He definitely homeless. That's for sure. Well, listen, I what was I going to say? Oh, about the turtle.
I don't know. You didn't tell us.
It left my mind. That happens to me a lot.
Well,
I'm going to change the subject slightly
okay.
because I've been asking this morning if anybody has martin gourds. I want to put up a martin gourd pole this year. And is it the right time right now? I think it is. Right now, it's probably a little bit late already. I probably just already had it up. And by the time I get it up, it may be too late to attract them this year. But I would like to attract some purple martins at the house.
Well, why don't you just grow your own gourds and you'll have
Well,
them for
that'll
next
take
year.
forever.
But you'll have them for next year.
Grow some gourds? Are you kidding? I can't grow nothing.
Okay.
What would I grow?
You want to do gourds? You want to do one of those fancy little houses? I've seen people have them.
Well,
That's
I've
pretty
heard.
neat.
I've heard
Martin
that.
house.
Yeah.
I've heard that they don't like them as well as they like the gourds. I don't know.
Now we have gourds, and they love them.
Yeah, I've always heard that they're not as attracted to the house.
But
As they
the
are.
house looks cooler.
They are cool looking houses. Maybe you should have both, and that way
Let them pick.
get them let them pick.
You have
You have the Purple Martin condominium.
Yep.
You know. But I did have them at our old place. But when we built and moved out on Greenwood, I haven't put up one yet. A Martin. I haven't put up one. Should have put them up a week before last. It says. Well, I'm late.
Yeah.
I'm late. The
Well,
scouts, the Purple Martin scouts must be coming already.
You need to put it up early for next year. See, you do it now.
Well, if I get it up, I guess the ones that come this year will see it, and maybe they'll remember it and come back next year. But gosh, anyway, they're fun to watch.
Yeah. Oh,
I used to have them there by the house we lived out on Prosser, and I've just sit and watch them sometimes. They're acrobatic flyers. I'll tell
They
you
are.
that.
Yeah.
And I like to hear them. They have that little chirp. You ever just watch them and listen to them?
When I'm mowing and it's kicking up the bugs out of the grass, they get tore up about that. Man.
Really?
They love that.
So you've got Martin houses.
Yeah.
Do you have them on poles? You have them on a string?
It's on a pole.
On a pole.
On a pole, and it's got the little crank thing. You crank it up the pole.
Where did you get it? Where did you get that?
At the Martin Gourd store.
Something like that.
They're a lot of help
They,
at the Martin Gourd store.
my wife had a fella build this for her, so I
Oh,
don't,
really?
Yeah, so I don't know if he does this anymore or not.
Well,
because
that's
she's
what
had
I
a few-
want.
yeah.
I want somebody to put one up for me.
Yeah, well, now I put it up, but
Well, or okay, build it for me.
yeah,
Because it is neat to have it.
Mm-hmm.
It cranks up and down.
yeah, it's got a cable. He made a cable thing, and it's got like a pulley, like on the front of a boat trailer.
Well, that's fancy.
Yeah. So you can let it down, and fix your gourds because the wind usually the plastic gourds seem to last longer.
The one I had,
Yeah, they will.
the one I had, didn't have. You had to just take the whole pole down to get to them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't have the crank. Mine wasn't that fancy.
Well, you can get with Kevin's wife and find out where she got it at and
Yeah.
get you one
You
built.
come over and steal that one. You know what are you gonna do?
Well, I'll just come pluck yours up out of the ground. Take them Purple Martins and all.
With the birds and everything.
You know what? You know what else everybody ought to know how to do?
What's that?
Write a check.
Yep.
There's a lot of folks that still don't know how to do that.
Write a check. And write. You know, when you write a check too, you have to know how to write the number. You know, the amount. You have to know how to write it out.
The written word of
There's
the
a-
amount.
Yeah.
And some places still check it because I messed that up one time and I got a phone call. Said, which one are you meaning to pay? He said, you wrote one thing down and he wrote it out a different way.
I had that happen to me not too long ago. I had written a check to
said,
someone, and I didn't write when I wrote it out, I didn't write the right amount.
Yeah.
That I wrote in the little window.
Yeah. And I said, why don't you look at the bill? What's the bill for? Just use that amount there.
Just use the bill part.
Yeah.
Well, actually, this person they wouldn't cash it.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, no.
They wouldn't cash it because they were unsure of the amount, so I had to rewrite the check.
Yep.
How about that?
That's happened to me before. You know, and right now you use debit cards so much.
Right, yeah.
And when you have to go write a check, you have to stop and think, well, no, wait a minute. Am I doing this right? I do.
Really?
You know, yeah.
So you pay a lot of your stuff, like bill pay and debit card stuff online
Yep. Or cash.
or cash? It's hard to get cash online.
Cash is just as good as money.
Yeah. I've heard that before.
Heard that?
But I still have a few things I write checks out for, so I keep in practice, I guess.
Well, good. Well, good deal. Good deal.
I don't never
Good
have
to know.
much cash, y'all.
When you get a chance, go ahead and write me a check.
How much you want one for?
I want a big one.
I'm like Jeff Foxworth. You want me to just pay it off?
Yeah. Just add it to what we already owe.
That's right.
You know, what was that comedian? Who was that? James Gregory. You remember him? James Gregory.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
talking about. He's
I've
talking about
seen him
getting
here
that.
in Lawrenceburg.
Yeah, you did. He's talking about getting that new lawnmower down at Sears. He said, just add it to what we already owe.
There you go.
Anyway,
Well, talking about that, when went and seen Cletus T. Judd Sunday night. He was talking about his mama and said that he got a call from Home Depot. And they told him, "Sir, you need to make a payment on those windows that we installed for your mama." He said, "Do what?" He said, "Yeah." And he said, called Mama. I said, "Mama, what's going on?" Says, "I gave you the money to pay for those windows." "They ain't going to get me." "No, sir, I'm not giving them no money." He said, "Why not?" She said, "When the guy installed them, he told me that in 12 months they'd pay for themselves, and I'm waiting for them to pay for themselves."
Cletus T. Judd. Oh my gosh, that's good. Fellow Frank texts me. He says that, excuse me. I'm sorry. He texts me and says he got a check in the mail and the young man printed his name instead of signing his name.
Because he don't know how to write in cursive. They don't teach
They
it
don't
anymore.
teach cursive. You know, it looks like they'd teach you how to sign your name, though. Even if you're not teaching, you should know how to. But hey, I had a contract signed the other day. A contract for an offer to purchase real estate, and when this client signed his name, he printed it. It didn't. I mean, it was just in, like printed name. Mm-hmm. But that's the way he signed it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
If I
that's
guess
a signature.
That's Thursday. If that's his signature, I guess that's how it is.
Used to, they just put an X. That was their
Make you mark.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about things we should know, and we're also taking questions on the phone, 766-9393. And so far, no one's called me to help me get up my Martin gourds. I'll get my Martin gourds going.
Surely somebody's in the Martin gourd
But here's
business
one of those things that it says in the list you should know, and it's got to be. It's one of my. It's on my list of aggravations. Hanging a picture.
Oh, my gosh.
It's on my list of things that really aggravate me.
Yeah.
I don't like hanging pictures.
It's never, when I try to hang a picture, I've got in my mind how I want it to look and where I want it to be at. But when I finally get it done, it's either too high or too low. So.
Well, I can hang a picture correctly. I can.
Oh, I knew you could.
But what I can hanging the picture is not. And if y'all tell her I said this, I'm going to deny it. So all you people that are listening, do not tell Teresa that I talked about this at all.
I hope she's listening.
Do not tell Teresa that I said anything about this whatsoever. Teresa thinks nothing of the way she hangs a picture. Now, wait a minute. Let me rephrase that. She don't sweat it. She knows where she wants it. She puts it up there, throws a nail in the wall, or a hook or whatever she's got, puts a picture up, and if that ain't right, she'll adjust it until she gets it right where she wants it. But if that bothers me, I don't want that many little holes in my wall, for one thing.
That's what they sell spackle for.
Okay, and so here's what happens. If she wants me to hang a picture, I get my tape measure or a yardstick. I get the stuff. I measure where the hook is. I measure everything, and I put that thing right where I want it, so I know when I hang it, it's where I want it. And it frustrates her to no end because she wants me to just hang it and be done.
That's kind of high. I just want to hang it. And
You just throw it up there.
I just throw it up
You
there.
can't do that.
Oh, man.
You can't just throw it on the wall.
Wait, if I didn't have a wife, I wouldn't have nothing on the walls. What are you talking about?
Well, you got a point there.
I wouldn't have anything here. I mean, that wall's a fine. A white wall, you ain't got to paint it or nothing. Just a wall's fine.
So you wouldn't have a picture at all?
No.
Do you have any? You have pictures on the wall?
I have a wife. Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff hanging off the walls now.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Shelves, even shelves at my house.
You got shelves. You got.
I got
are they-
fake-looking
do you have-
suitcase things that's
do you-
on there, the little drawers up.
Do you have family pictures on the wall, or do you have art or other type?
Oh, it's family pictures. Yeah,
Family pictures.
Yeah, mostly of CJ
okay.
and some
All right.
of the family.
All right.
No, I don't. I can't think we got any art. Like a barn picture or something.
Yeah,
like
some
that.
fine art.
Yeah.
You remember the old barn picture used to people have on their couch, over their couch, a great big picture over the couch,
And
it
probably home interior.
was it was the red barn covered bridge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The red covered bridge, and the little boy fishing and it's got the wheel. Or you remember those pictures? Everybody used to say.
Do you know where those come from?
Where'd those come from?
At one time, when A&P was in Lawrenceburg, you'd go in there and you'd buy so many groceries, and they had like a picture of the week
Oh, really?
that you'd get, and that's where a lot of those come from.
Most of my mom's coming from the home interior.
Yeah.
Had the big gigantic wooden fork and spoon, and
Yep.
the owl pictures that everybody had.
Denim days.
I have a friend who does my taxes, and she has on her wall, and I think it might have been home interior. Is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. Home interior, and it's a barn scene, but it's molded plastic, and it has depth. It has it's
Like a 3D.
like a 3D thing. It's a molded plastic. I mean, it's big, and it's a farm scene, an old farm scene. It's a barn. And got a little side shed and a tractor and an old car in it and a fence and the whole thing. And I admired that every time I go down there. Tried to talk her out of it, but so far I haven't. Kind of a neat piece. I've never seen anything quite. I'm sure there's others. That I'm sure they were made in multiples, but that's the only one like that I've ever seen. Kind of cool.
Is home interior even still a
That's
thing?
going to be my question.
I don't know.
Are they still in existence?
Or is there something else that's took its place?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. There's who's all these like the Prairie Woman? What's her name?
Reed Drummond.
What?
Ain't it Reed Drummond?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Reed Drummond.
I don't know who that is.
That's the Pioneer woman.
Pioneer. That's what I was trying to say. I said Prairie. Pioneer Woman.
Yeah.
She has all kind of decorated stuff.
Well, now we have a lot of pioneer, but I mean, like the home interior, they used to come to your house and do a show. And
I don't remember
yeah,
that.
Oh man, yeah, mom. Like I said, we had all kinds of stuff hanging in it. Like the net was big in it. And,
Did you ever go to, speaking about people coming to your house and doing the show and all that, did you ever have the cookware show?
oh man, yeah.
Mhm. I used to sell me and my wife
Town
used to
craft?
sell
Town craft. That's
town
good
craft.
stuff. It's
Yeah.
really good stuff.
Well,
no
let's
doubt.
put it this way: we tried to sell town craft.
Did you?
And it's a little expensive.
It's expensive.
It is
But
expensive.
it was very good.
Very good. Yeah.
It's like it's expensive but good.
Yeah.
You know,
It
that's
was
one
good,
thing.
yeah.
That's one thing that I've learned, and I think a lot of people learn it maybe the hard way, is to go for quality rather than price. There's some legitimacy to that. Is to buy quality rather than just the cheap stuff. You'll spend more in the long run. It may not feel like it, but you will.
Well, let me ask you this: do you remember the Stanley parties and the Tupperware parties that the ladies used to have?
Stanley parties, Tupperware, yeah.
And actually, at one time, there was a Rubbermaid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
I remember Tupperware. What was Stanley?
it was like cleaning products. What was it? Germ Trawl is one thing that yeah Stanley would sell, and it's just. And remember the Watkins? I can remember the Watkins man coming to the house and selling stuff.
Yeah, Watkins. I forgot about it. You can still buy Watkins
Oh yeah,
stuff.
oh yeah.
Oh, really?
I think they've got, the last I seen, they have some down at Holland's. Holland's Drug has some Watkins products, or they did.
I remember
they
the
did.
Swan's truck.
Yeah, yeah,
Always was intrigued by Watkins sold black pepper.
yeah.
You could get Watkins black pepper.
And their flavoring, you can't beat their flavoring. Like vanilla flavoring and rum flavoring and all that. But yeah.
Chris is on the ball out there. He's got
Okay.
questions. We're talking about hanging stuff. At what age? At what age does a woman need to think she needs to put plates on the wall? And I can identify with this so much. Years ago, my sweet wife collected certain types of plates and dishes, and we had them hanging everywhere.
Like the Elvis plates? And
No,
stuff?
no, these were. It was Blue Ridge.
Oh, okay.
She collected Blue Ridge dishes, and we would go to antique, places, and it was just something that we did together. I even got into it a little bit. I could recognize a Blue Ridge plate from a distance today. If I go to a sale or go somewhere and I see one, that's a Blue Ridge right there.
Yeah, Kevin, you're thinking about the Hamilton collection.
That's it, yeah.
The what?
commemorative.
Hamilton
The
collection.
Hamilton collection.
Yep.
Now, what is the Hamilton?
Well, they had like the different plates. I remember they had a bunch of the Elvis plates. They
Oh,
had
yeah,
the Gone
yeah,
with
yeah.
the Wind plates.
Yeah,
and
that's
all
right.
kind of.
Gone with the wind.
I still run across those sometimes at our auctions.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, people have.
don't know of
some
anybody
those
that bought them
collector
things.
plates.
Well, I've got an Elvis plate that
Well, of
somebody
course
give
you
me.
do, yeah.
Somebody give me.
Gone with the Wind. I remember seeing some
Oh
of
yeah,
those.
yeah.
Some of those, could be worth quite a bit of money.
They could be.
I'd be interested in a Blazing Saddle one.
You think they had some plates for blazing saddles?
Why wouldn't they?
Probably,
Or Smokey and the Bandit.
probably those campfire bean plates.
But you can still get stuff. Hamilton collection is still in existence.
is it?
You can still.
Well, I remember seeing the TV commercials, a lot,
Yep.
and I haven't seen anything on them in a while.
Yeah,
Maybe they've gotten.
They
where they're
advertise a lot in
self-sufficient
magazines now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Greens has Watkins.
Do they?
Yep.
I remember Holland's on the Square used to.
Yeah. Well, Holland's has it. I remember that too. I was trying to read a text message, but I don't understand it. Oh, Mean Joe wants you to write him a check too. That's right. Mean Joe wants a check.
Well, we can do that.
Hey, good morning. You're on WXC with us.
Good morning, Jeff. How y'all doing, buddy?
Just like a brand new road
There
grader.
we go. Hey, you talking about people used to have those parties and stuff, and I won't call his name, but I know y'all all going to remember him, the vacuum cleaner man.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he'd come to the house, and you think, we're going to have to buy one just to get him to leave. So, and he would stay and talk, and you think, this guy ain't never going to leave. He's sucker. I won't, and I think y'all know what I'm talking about.
Know exactly who
Hey,
you're
there
talking
was
about.
other products too, like Amway and
Amway.
They was all
Yep.
kinds of stuff, buddy.
Yes, Amway.
I
I forgot about that.
when y'all was talking about that, I thought about him. Like I said, he'd come and you think, he ain't gonna leave. I buy a vacuum cleaner.
He was one of the number one vacuum cleaner sellers in the nation.
Electrolux.
Is that right?
Electrolux.
Oh, is that
That's
what
right.
I was supposed to ask?
Electrolux. I wasn't gonna call it on that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
But yeah,
We
he
had
was.
Electrolux.
He had to get I can't think of his name, but he had to gift them out, though, did he?
Oh, he did.
He sure did.
Y'all have a blessed day,
Thank
brother.
you, man.
Bye bye.
I tell you one thing. He came to our house right after Trish and I married, and when I answered the door, I didn't see him
You didn't?
until I turned around. And he was in the living room.
Was he one of them that throw dirt on the floor and vacuum it up for you?
Oh, that was Rainbow.
Oh, I wouldn't. I own a Rainbow, so that tells you all that.
Rainbows and Electrolux,
Kirby.
Kirby,
Mama had a
and
Kirby.
a Hoover.
Hoover.
Hoover makes a vacuum, or they did.
They still do.
And now does Panasonic make a vacuum cleaner? All these Black and Decker makes one.
Yep.
That's a wet dry vac, right?
Did what?
A wet dry vac, Black and Decker.
Oh, they make it just
They
a
make-
regular.
they
Oh,
make-
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make. I think you can get a Black and Decker coffee pot.
Yeah. Absolutely. I remember they used to make drills. That's all. Drills and
They-
saws. Now then they expanded.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Watkins has sparked memories with some of my text buddies, and he mentions Unkers.
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 You can get that at Holland's on the Square.
Unkers salve. I don't want no kind of lotion, salve, or gunk put on me nowhere.
Why?
I just don't like it. It gives me the goop.
Well, you're not supposed to put the whole bottle on at one time.
I don't
It's
like.
just like Brill cream,
Slather.
a little dab will do you.
I tell you what. I couldn't hardly stand as a kid, and I can't stand it now. Is that Vicks Vapor Rub?
Oh,
I can't stand that stuff.
we got some coffee in there that smells like it.
Yeah, I remember that. We made some coffee in here one day that smelled like you was with us.
Yes, it was great. I
We
thought it was
tried-
great coffee.
Well, take the rest of it home with you then.
Well, I hate to deprive y'all of that.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
So we're taking random questions, and we've got all the answers.
That's right.
And we're also thinking of things that everybody should know. How to swim.
Yep,
That's probably good to know.
that is a good thing to know.
How to swim. You should know how to swim. We talked about the dolphins and the sailfish.
Yeah.
They know how to swim.
They do.
And if you're skiing, you better know,
Yep.
right?
Yep. basically you lose your life jacket.
Yeah.
Or your swimming trunks.
Ooh.
What about this one now? This was a good one. They got cars that'll do this for you now. Parallel park.
Yeah,
I
they do.
cannot parallel
Can you
park.
not parallel
Really?
park?
No, I cannot.
Well, I'm very
So
disappointed.
what's the technique? You know.
I just pull it past it and start backing into it and swing it through. I mean,
And
I
then when he
don't
hears
think-
glass break, he knows he's where
That's
he's
right.
supposed to be.
Whoop, stop.
You got to get your tail in there, right?
Right, yeah, you got corner, the right rear corner, you got to go in
gotta
there
get
first.
You got to
and
get
then,
your tail in there,
Yeah.
right? And then you get your front end in there, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, that is kind of a skill. It has to
is.
be
Well,
developed.
that was something we had to learn in
Yeah.
growing up, and
It's not-
my wife has trouble with
It's
it.
not automatic. It's something
No.
you got to kind of practice and learn how to do.
So, Lonnie, after work, we'll go out there and practice in the parking lot.
What about backing a trailer?
Yeah.
That's another skill.
It is.
We used to have contests with a lawnmower down at my cousin's house, and we would hook a garden trailer to it and see who could back the furthest.
Backing a
I
trailer.
get so aggravated.
It is aggravating.
Yeah. But now I
Now
finally practice enough.
there's different trailers too. Now,
A gooseneck acts different than a bumper pull. I'll tell you
a
that.
gooseneck acts different than a bumper pull, and then a 4-wheel trailer
Yes, with the front steer
with
axle.
the front steer axle.
Oh my goodness,
that'll
I
drive
have
you.
not mastered that one.
That'll drive you insane.
Yes.
You know that the Dixie, the Crossroads of Dixie tractor show, they have a 4-wheel wagon backing contest.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that'd be a
And I
contest,
watched
I'm
I
telling you.
watched that. Now there's some of those guys that are quite skilled at it. I mean, you know, they can do it. You know.
Well, I'm sure if you use one every day or whatever, you can probably get pretty good at it.
Excuse me.
I do not use one every day, so.
I don't either.
They have some interesting contests though. That they have a skillet throwing contest.
Is that for the women? Or?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yep.
Yes, no doubt. Seriously.
Or the how far they can throw it, or they're like aiming it and stuff.
Well,
They got like a dummy's head down there.
the really good ones send their husbands down the field to throw it. Complain.
Bling.
You and I have watched too many Stooges. Do you know what we watched the other day? I made my son watch it with me. The Three Stooges movie that came out a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember
Yeah.
Do you remember that the Three Stooges movie that came out a few years ago?
Where was that movie filmed at?
Now that I don't know.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Was it?
Yep.
Really? I thought they did a pretty good job of making a funny movie.
Oh, they
Yeah.
did.
Now there'll never
They did.
be another
No,
Three Stooges.
no.
You can't
No.
replace the originals, no doubt. But they made a funny movie.
They did.
And one of the funniest things in the whole thing is right at the front end. Have you seen it? Mm-hmm. When they throw them babies out in that duffel bag, and he unzips them. Well, it's supposed to be a nun that unzips them, and this little fingers come out and pokes her in the eyes. That's like right at the first of the movie. Oh my gosh. Anyway, my son Daniel thought it was funny, but he didn't have any reference for it.
Oh,
You know, because he hadn't watched the
Right.
Three Stooges like we did. We grew up watching the Three Stooges, and even though the movie was funny, I don't think it was as funny to him as it was to us because we grew up
Right.
watching the Three Stooges. You know, and you know, I can't even get the young ones don't think that's funny like we did for some reason.
No.
physical comedy's not that.
Evidently not. I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious.
Well, I tell you, when I worked at the sheriff's department under Tom Purdom, and we had a TV in the dispatch office, if he walked in the door, there was two things you better turn off before he got in there: wrestling and the Three Stooges.
He didn't like either one of them. What's wrong
No.
with what was the deal on that?
He just didn't like them, and I won't repeat what he'd say, but he would tell you in those uncertain terms, turn it off.
Well, did he let you watch anything else?
Well, yeah, but when he was there, you didn't watch wrestling in the Three Stooges.
So he wanted that foolishness off, huh?
He didn't want that foolishness on there.
How about that? None of that foolishness.
Uh-oh.
Haley,
Oh, there's Brent Wheeler. I'll have to talk to him in a little bit.
Yeah, talk to him after a while.
He'll
him
have
you
to
got a
wait
job
on
to
me.
do.
He'll have to wait
Have
on
him
me.
call on the landline. We'll talk to him.
Let's see. What else can we do? Look at. What else can we look at? Use a tape measure.
Oh, yes.
Now,
Use a tape measure.
I'm not gonna lie. I like the easy read tape measure.
Well, yeah.
That's the whole because my eyesight's not as good as it used to. It's hard to count them little lines anymore.
Yep.
So I like the easy read.
What about this? Fix a hole in the wall.
Well, that's probably good to know.
You should know from what you told earlier.
Putting all them pictures up different spots.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's
Can
not
you
good.
can you fix a big hole? You know, I've had to do that before in some houses.
I had to fix one. I had to fix one. Oh, there it is. My guitar's ready. How about that?
Cool.
Cool deal. I bought a Martin guitar
Ooh, nice.
that is the same model or modeled after the same model as Willie Nelson's guitar.
Ooh.
And,
Trigger.
Trigger. That's right. It's a Martin N20 is what his is. Well, they don't make them anymore, but I was able to blessed to have one made.
So you paid somebody to wire a hole out in the.
It took. Listen, it took 2 years to get it. It took 2 years for
to
them
get the hole wore into it.
No, I don't have a hole worn it. This is a new guitar.
Well, it ain't like Willie Nelson's then.
Well, it will be when I get through with it.
That's right. You gotta play some Whiskey River songs and.
No, I've always admired that guitar, and I love the sound of that guitar. I love the.
So you going to use the nylon?
Oh yeah,
strings
it's
and
well.
everything?
That's what it's made
Yeah.
for. It's a classical
Right.
guitar, nylon string guitar.
Well, that's the whole reason why he's got a hole in his guitar because
Well-
it's a classical guitar. It didn't have
Well,
a pick guard.
it's got a sound hole.
Right. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it does have that.
He's
and,
got two of them.
His has got two. Anyway, that Martin in 20. That's probably the most famous guitar in the world.
Probably, yeah,
You know, at this point.
because everybody knows about it.
Everybody knows about that guitar. Anyway, I wanted. It didn't come with pickups in it. Now, and Willie's does have. It's got a certain type of pickup, which I wasn't able to get the same type as him, but I did get pickups put in it. And then there's a guy, Rex McCafferty, that does guitar work.
I know Rex.
You know Rex? Well, I've had him. I took it to him, and he has installed my pickups on that for me.
All right.
And so now I can't wait. I may go get that thing sometime today. He just texted me, said it was done. So that's awesome.
Sweet.
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 Sweet, sweet, sweet. And by the way, I still have some guitars that I would sell and a mandolin, a really nice Morgan Monroe mandolin that I would sell. While I'm on the radio, why not?
There you go. Hey, well,
Hey, we're winding down on time. Today's hour is the Quik Mart hour.
Yes.
And normally Keith Durham would be here, but Kevin's in the house.
Yeah.
And Lonnie Box has hung around with us to keep things rolling.
Well, Lonnie Box is going to have to ease out of here.
You got to go?
I got to ease out of
All
here.
right, well, I'll let you go.
too much excitement, huh?
I'll let you go. We got another minute or two to kill here before the Fox News break comes in.
Hey,
Thanks.
I appreciate y'all letting me sit in here.
Thank-
we appreciate
I've
you
enjoyed
sitting
it.
in.
I'm
have.
glad you stayed, buddy. And next time we'll have more questions.
Just don't tell Keith I done it.
I won't tell him. I won't tell him at all. Well, what have you got on your plate today, big boy?
Gotta go to work.
You got to go to work.
Go to the real job.
You wear some of the nicest shirts.
Why? Thank you.
You
I
really
try
do.
to dress
Where
up
do you-
for here.
I mean, I didn't know we was going bowling today, but
We're in the bowling alley, so as you brought up earlier,
I'm
we
just
talked about
kidding.
earlier.
that is a nice shirt.
But I like the bowling.
Do you have a
shirts, that's
certain?
all.
Do you have a certain way you certain place you get those shirts?
I've been getting these. I think it's called HardDaddy.com.
Hard Daddy.
And they sell these bowling looking shirts on there.
Well,
Prints,
I'm
different prints.
impressed. I'm going to look that up.
They're very comfortable.
I'm going to look that up and see if I can find me. I think you've wore some impressive shirts. I like
Well, I'm glad you noticed.
I like them a lot. We don't have an official answer for the Quik Mart Cup, but I think it's worth a try.
I try.
I think it's worth a try. I think if Keith was here, he'd say, "Go give her a try." You know. But I remember they used to buy those when
Yeah.
you get a Quik Mart mug,
Yeah, had them great big ones.
and get a refill for a certain amount when you got back. So I'm going to assume they still honor
Say,
that.
we can grab you some some fish or some shrimp while you're there?
In the meantime, yeah, all these nice Quik Mart convenience stores have good food there
Yes,
for you.
they do.
Breakfast,
Friendly
lunch,
folks.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and of course, great service, great folks. You want to go by and see them. Well, I've got about a minute, and that's it. We appreciate everybody tuning in to
Yes.
to the Quik Mart Hour. Now, remember, tomorrow we're swapped. So tomorrow it's going to be Friends and Neighbors, and I've got a special guest coming in who is traveling the state, county by county, preaching, and we're going to talk to him and find out about him and his family and what's going on with that. I'm looking forward to that. And in the meantime, Kevin, you going to be back when?
I don't know. When y'all want me to be back?
Well, anytime. I know you'll be back next week.
We'll be back next Thursday.
You'll be
I'm
back.
assuming we'll be back on regular schedule next Thursday,
We
right?
should be back on regular schedule
Okay.
next week. So we'll be back. See you next Thursday, if not before.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's see if my music's coming up. There it is, right there. Yeah, it's time for us to get out of here. We got to go do the real job. Find somebody you like today, give them a hug, tell somebody you love them, and I hope somebody tells you. Have a blessed one, everybody.
He just showed up at the Capitol for
Thanks,
a
buddy.
private deposition in the House Republicans' impeachment inquiry into his father, the president.
What was the Biden family business? That's been a big question of this whole investigation.
House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, a short time ago before the questioning begins.
Biden family.